Welcome to the board. Our first board meeting for Vonnimedia, and I guess a board meeting for our lives.
Yeah, I would say it's more our lives, but Vonnimedia is a significant part of it, so fair enough.
It is. We've constantly been talking about having a session where we sit down regularly and talking through everything going on in our lives, and it kept getting pushed out and pushed out and pushed out. And so we decided to turn it into a podcast to keep ourselves accountable. And so here we are, day one. Going from 0 to 100 very quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this podcast we anticipate is just going to be us chatting around a little bit of work stuff, definitely what's going on in our lives there. I think also just random things and good things in life in general and learnings. I think it's really great when you learn from others, so we want to give back as much as we can in that respect.
Yeah, I feel like we want to focus. Yeah, we talk a lot about business and we have a lot of conversations, and I feel like there's some things that we just want on the record so that we can remember what we said. And so we can always go back. And so this is what this is going to be for. And so we'll see how it goes and have some fun with it.
Welcome to the board.
Welcome to the board. All right, let's kick it off. How did we meet, Von?
What a cool question. We met over 10 years ago, and we met in Wollongong, and we met at a nightclub, bar?
Yeah, I'd call it a nightclub. It's
Probably more of a nightclub.
Uni nightclubs.
Yeah, we met there. I was completely sober that night. I had my red peas and was driving from southern Wollongong, and then you were there with friends living in amongst the city and
having fun, frolicking, as they say in 2023, not 2024. I'm not sure what the Gen Zs call hanging out anymore, but yes.
Oh yeah, we should ask upstairs.
We should.
They'll know.
And so yeah, we're romantic partners. We're married. Which is, if you didn't know and you don't know Von and I, we're married and decided to eventually end up in business together. And so here we are at Vonnimedia running what we now call a family business, which I thought I'd never say.
Yeah, you did say the last thing I would ever do is work with you, Von. So I don't know how it's changed, but I'm really glad that it has.
Yeah, it's one of those things I think you and I probably embody the most is we change our opinions on things when we get new information, which is like, you got to kind of eat humble pie sometimes.
Mm-hmm. You saw how much fun I was having and you wanted to join the club?
Yeah, I still have a vivid memory. I was still working at my previous job and I woke up on, I think it was the Saturday of Black Friday, like the day after. And Von was still at her computer at like 6 a.m, like building Facebook ads. And I was like, yeah, that's what I want to be doing with my life.
Come on, the appeal's real, and still every year. That's not far from the truth, to be honest. Black Friday is the craziest and biggest time for e-commerce brands. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very exciting.
And so how's it been working with your loved one or your husband? I was going to say wife, that's for me.
I think like in anything in life, there's some really great elements to things, and then there's other areas that are challenging. So I think overall the reward far outweighs the challenges. It's so cool to work with you every day. You're my best friend, without getting cheesy on the podcast and there's others listening, but it's true. It's really great that we get to be able to see each other throughout the day and go towards that same common goal. I'd say challenges-wise, I think it's the switching off part that I find tricky. I have to kind of reposture sometimes, like how often we talk about work, or you know what I mean? Sometimes I feel like it can misbalance, but that's like in anything in life. It's hard to get the balance right.
Yeah. It's funny. We have a lot of people say, I could never work with my partner. And
yeah, they do.
It's probably every second time I bring up that we work together, people be like, it's cool. And then, I could never do that with my partner. And the way I guess we think about it is we're building a dream together. At the same time, I don't remember a time before we worked together where we didn't talk about all the things that were going on in our life anyway. So now it's just, maybe it's the same topic rather than...
Yeah, and look, I think as well, you and I do different things in the business as well.
Yeah, that's a very big difference.
So we identified that probably a week and a half in when we were trying to do the same role first week, and I was like, we may have to have different roles and responsibilities. And so once we established that, I feel like then we were off to the races, so to speak. Like we could both just be in our lanes and work on different things and not step on each other's toes, but also help each other through those different activities.
Yeah, I feel like we learn at twice the speed as well, because we share what we learn. It's not like these knowledge silos of like we're trying to figure it out on our own.
Yeah, so definitely.
That's been fun.
Yeah, it's very rewarding and then also challenging.
Cool. Awesome. I think we move on to, what's happening this week? Yeah, let's go. Like, what's been happening?
This week has been an amazing one. We launched our co-working space, which is what we're in right now filming this podcast, and I couldn't be more excited about it. It is called The Third Row, there's no the in front of it. Third Row Co-working. We were trying to play
Still
around.
landing the brand.
I know, yes.
It's like landing a plane.
No, I made an executive call. It's Third Row and then Third Row Co-working because the Third Row Co-working is too long.
TTR, too long.
I think it's just too long. Anyways, I'm obsessed with the name. Third Row, freaking love it. It just, I don't know, I just like have dreams about that two phrase, just the best kind of combination. It probably doesn't make sense to anyone else, but it makes sense to me. We're super pumped. We absolutely love it. It's so aesthetic. Thank you so much to Spec Building and Design. Chris Croucher, real MVP.
Massive MVP, for
yeah,
sure.
he has just done the absolute most. This space looks absolutely beautiful. We're so excited to be in business partnership with him. He is unreal. And Chris and I grew up together. We went to school together. I'm really, really, really dear friends with his wife. And I just cannot believe, I can believe that we're in business together. But 13-year-old me cannot believe that we're in business together.
Why is that? What does 13-year-old Vonnie believe?
I think Chris was someone that I absolutely love how much Chris loves my friend Ali. Like that is like, I've always admired his like just love for her. It's always, I don't know, inspired me. I think just, the bus days where like you've got like the older grades like sitting towards the back of the bus. Like to me, I just kind of went, oh, like he's like, a couple grades above. It's just scary. So
and at the time, I think
scared to talk to Chris.
Von's like a bumble of energy, and I can imagine a year 7 bumble of energy to a year 9 or 10 students like, who is this kid?
Yeah.
Who do they think they are?
I don't know. It was just not the right timing for us to start a business back then, but I'm so excited to be in business with them now. It's the best. And I'm really, really pumped to see who comes through this space and who they get to call this their work home and all the fun that we'll get to have with everyone who joins.
It's amazing when you think about where you meet people who become a really significant part of your life. Things come out of nowhere and you just never expect it. Like meeting someone at the back of the bus in year 7 who ends up becoming a business partner.
I know. I couldn't be happier though. I feel like I've like grown up with them and I know them so well, and they're people that I would bet on, particularly in the last few years, getting to know their growth in business and what they're passionate about. And of course I know their characters already. So it was just the ultimate perfect match. I think we're all so stoked to be in this together.
Yeah, I don't think any of us believed we would have a co-working space at the start of this year. It was like it was an idea in late May. It was like, maybe we could do this, maybe not. And then fast forward now to early October, and it's built.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Spec Building and Design are wild. Like that is so quick for the quality and turnaround time. Remember you guys were telling me the deadlines and I was like, no way that we're going to hit that deadline time. And we did. Like every single time it was on the money. So yeah.
It's amazing what you can do when you get the right people involved. And we definitely got the right people involved. And we are very lucky.
Very lucky. Now we just need to start thinking about the launch parties. That's what I'm really excited for.
Keen for the party?
Yeah, very keen for the party. So that's my hat, my responsibility. So I've got to get out those invites, particularly now that we've launched it. Like, and we put our Instagram post out yesterday. I'm like, all right, party invites, got to go out. So
how do you think we'll go about filling the space?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's already like, people like in our DMs, people have already toured it. Like we don't have that many seats. So I'm kind of hesitant on how much marketing we should do in the sense that we may fill this up very, very quickly. So it will just come down to...
I feel like this is in our wheelhouse now.
Oh, I mean, totally. I mean, look, we're performance marketers at heart. So of course, getting across where people search for it, no brainer. I'm a huge lover of meta ads. So of course that's going live. Content creation is huge, like just being able to bring people along a story and using video content to be able to show through, the space. It's a visual space.
Yeah, it's very easy. It's very easy to take a good photo in here. We had it shot last Friday by a family member of mine who does architectural photography, and he just really captured the vibe. But we've even done stuff like the website's been live for 3 days. We reached out to a local blog, and they've already put us at the top of the page, and they've got the best SEO rankings for co-working spaces in the Sutherland Shire. So even like little growth hacky things like that will We listed it on Spacely, which is a offshoot of Real Estate Commercial, which thankfully they don't charge you for. At least they haven't hit me with a bill yet.
That's good advice. If you have a business and you want to be able to get just more SEO rankings and just more buzz about your business, just reach out to a bunch of different blogs and different people that host information about where to find things online. And you'll be surprised at what comes back. And then before you know it, you'll then have a whole other kind of like distribution channel, but also just like a whole buzz thing that you can then add into your marketing campaigns of where you're now placed.
Yeah, I have very small sample size, but I was looking at our Google Analytics of like site visits, like 85% of people are coming through social, which is good, but we're getting like regular site visits and a couple through organic search, and the site's been live for 2 days. So it's already ranking, which is really exciting.
Do you site map? Did you do all that?
Yeah, I did all the site maps, set up the Google My Businesses, added the photos, indexed them all.
Stunning.
All the little nerdy things that go along with SEO ranking. Not as we definitely do it, but we're definitely gonna do more of the push side of marketing.
We want to have fun. We want to display this space. It's too beautiful not to share visually.
Yeah, awesome. And so it's live. If you want to come and tour, check it out, and we'd love to have you.
Yeah, should we discuss any challenges that we've had building the space?
I
think
100%.
That would be fun.
Let's do that.
Let's give people what they want.
Number one, what was top for you?
I mean, it wasn't even an issue. It was just funny. So I think the male's bathroom, I walked in one day and like the sink was just completely smashed. Like I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. I should have taken a photo because it was quite dramatic.
I think we've got some because we had to send them to, I think we sent it to the plumber to get it replaced.
Right.
The aircon guys were installing the air conditioning unit that we've put in because we've moved into a factory space that we've fitted out. And so could have gotten quite cold in here. So we had to put a new aircon unit through. And the aircon guys were up in the roof and all their tools just fell straight through the roof and straight through the sink. And so we were using the kitchen sink for a while for our bathroom. That was fun.
It was just funny. Yeah, I thought that was good. What else? What's been a challenge for you?
I think we didn't anticipate how long, like it's all a square, which is great. Squares make things, or rectangles, that make it very easy to build things, but it's not exactly square. So when we started putting things in, everything's were out by 15, 20 mil. And so if you want to keep it in shape, it almost doubles the work just by it not being set out properly from the start. And so I think Chris and I very vastly underestimated how much work was required to get this space live. We thought we'd knock it out in 2 or 3 weeks. That was these little things that just like 5x the amount of work that you have to do. Yeah. The kitchen didn't come for 6 weeks.
Yeah, but then it came and then they just forgot the bench tops.
Which
a critical part of a kitchen.
Thankfully, Bunnings helped us out and gave us some temporary bench tops.
We paid for them, but yeah.
No, I think we got them.
Oh.
Yeah, no, we did pay for them. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
Thanks,
luckily Bunnings helped us out. We got them installed for the photo shoot because we wanted to get the website live. Trying to build a website without content is really, really hard. And so you can't really understand what it's going to look like until you have the photos. So I think we thought we'd be able to do all of this in parallel and it just couldn't. So that was fun.
Yeah, the sequencing of things. I think it went relatively smoothly, but definitely learnings for sure. Like bottlenecks of like, oh, we can't do this until this or this or this.
Yeah. I think we were blessed with having Holly, our interior designer friend, help us out on this project. Even just taking decisions away, ordering stuff for us.
Yeah.
I think Von and I would have pulled each other's hair out having to make all of those decisions ourselves. And so having Holly involved to make decisions was just a game changer.
Agreed.
Also, I think interior designers pay for themselves just in their trade discounts. So if you're building out a space, speak to an interior designer, they get things, they pay for themselves and more. And so it's so worth it.
Agreed. Yeah, Holly, real MVP as well on this project. It's been amazing when you have someone that has that eye. I think it makes all the difference. Like when you just choose your, connections, supplies, whatever you want to call them for anything, make sure that they are passionate, have an eye for detail, like they just have that extra depth of knowledge because it can make such a difference. And also she was so good at being like, no, this looks better. I know it costs a bit more, but it looks better. Holly, love you for that.
Yeah, Holly definitely, I think, she told me no so many times, which I love. Like, I don't want to work with people that just tell me yes all the time.
Yeah.
And so being told no is the best feeling, even when you're the customer. So thank you, Holly, for saying no.
Yeah, she had our backs.
And so I think one of the other things that I thought was, I guess, kind of threw me off was I had a perception of things. I've never done this before. And so I had a perception of what things were going to take. And the things that I thought were going to be easy were hard, i.e., I've spoken about the layout and this because I thought it was all square. The things that were easier, like laying the flooring, for example, I thought that was going to take weeks, and the guys knocked it out in like 3 hours. And so that was a massive learning for me. Setting up the networks, you think, oh, just like, I think of it like home, where you just like ring TPG or Telstra and they just like send you a box and you plug it in, you're good to go. Like commercial networking is like completely different. And like, I feel like I had to learn that from scratch. Hopefully never have to do that again, but shout out to those IT managers out there or network engineers. You've got a very interesting job.
Seriously. Yeah, thanks for covering that one.
But we won't have to do that. So if you need that help, don't call me, please. Ring a professional.
You did pretty good, actually. I think you could make a whole side consulting out of that.
You gotta love what you do, Von.
Yeah, true.
Awesome. So yeah, the co-working space is live. We've had a blast.
So good. Get in quick, everyone.
How did you go running Vonnimedia whilst doing this project? Like balancing trying to launch a new business with running an existing business, supporting clients. Where's your...
Yeah. I think it's definitely being kind to yourself throughout the process, like adding in an additional project like this whilst running other businesses can definitely create a bit of stretch within your week. I think once you said this before, but getting the right people doing the right things in the right way made so much difference. Like the amount that Holly and Chris helped was truly, like it truly made this feel a lot more like a breeze. I definitely feel like there can be mixed priorities in trying to balance Vonnimedia, deadlines, team, like that being able to find that balance. I don't know, it's been great to have the help, definitely. I don't know what to say about that. I think overall, I'm just really thankful that the right people have been on this project, that I really feel like the lift of that has been a lot through those amazing people, yourself included, to be honest. Yeah. What do you think? Maybe you can give us some insight, because I do feel like there's been areas that I've definitely helped do, but I do believe you have been able to integrate it within your role at Vonnimedia more than I have.
Yeah, I think I say this to our team. It's like I want to do fewer things really, really well. And like just doing too many things is a recipe for not doing anything well. And so I think I kind of went against that mantra doing this space in the hopes that, I mean, it's like a milestone project for us. Like it's really fun. We also got an amazing office out of it. I think it helps bring in a new wave of creativity. It helps bring in a new feel, a new vibe into the team, which we all need.
Yeah.
Change is as good as a holiday, as they always say.
So good.
Would I do it again?
Yes.
Probably, but I'd probably lean on more people that aren't me to do that, and I would stick to what I do well. And so would I be jackhammering up the tiles and sweeping the floors on every project if we did this multiple times? I'd probably get someone else who's way better at that than I am, and I'd focus on what I'm good at. And so I think that's a lesson for us. We've been through this lesson with Vonnimedia. We've constantly tried to do too many things at once, and so we've actually reined in what we do. And I think we've got to constantly keep thinking that way. And so this project is another stark reminder. If you're running a business, try and do less things really well.
Do you think that it's reinvigorated Vonnimedia? Because I do feel like starting a project from scratch, building a business from scratch, kind of takes you back to then Vonnimedia's early days of starting a business as well.
That is true. I think you and I were saying this last night, actually, that the last couple of weeks have felt like the early days of launching the agency. And it's been a long time since we've had that feeling. I'd say like we were in a really good flow for a couple of years, and we're just like, yeah, this is good, but this has kind of almost put a rocket under both of us to like, okay, let's lift up, let's push harder, let's go. And that's hard 5 years in now. That's a really hard thing to do. A lot of business owners you speak to, they feel tired, and it's a hard year. And a lot of businesses are struggling. And so having that rocket is a really inspirational thing, but it also comes with trade-offs.
Yeah, just got to continue to break those walls.
Yeah, so the last couple of weeks have been a bit crazy. What's our realistic daily routine been for the last, let's say, 3 weeks?
I mean, I think I defaulted to, because the load's been high, like what is the best way that I operate? And even if it doesn't work for other people, how is it going to work for me? And so for some reason, I don't know why, and I always say I'm going to work on this, but I think it's just the way I'm wired. It gets to like 5 p.m. and my brain switches on. Like I am all of a sudden starting my day properly with like acceleration and momentum at night. And so because I've known that, I've been like, okay, well, I'm doing all these different things in the day, then it gets to the night, and then I've got like a whole other set of kind of like work day ahead. I've just been doing it. And I'm like, I'm not going to listen to the people that say go to bed at 8 p.m. and do that. Like 100%, that's probably the net best way to be healthy. And I completely agree and align to that. And I can only imagine how alive I would feel waking up, going to bed at 8 p.m. Like it's the best. However, there's things that need to be done to be able to make this business great, to make this business great as well. Sorry, this, if you're listening to the podcast, Third Row and Vonnimedia. And so with that, if it means that I work best at night and I can crash through a lot of those difficult things then, I'm going to do that. And so I would say that I have lost balance in that regard, but I've also been able to get a lot more stuff done. And honestly, that's how Vonnimedia was built the first 2 years, was my ability to be able to like stomach through the nights and like add in another shift. And then there was a period where I did the mornings as well. But yeah, that's just been my life at the moment. And then I'm balancing it by having a beautiful golden retriever, Yuna. And so she definitely requires walks and spent like time, and she's a ball of energy and filled with so much love. So she definitely grounds and centers me. And then I look at my calendar, and usually 1 to 2 days a week, I've got some plans with friends. Yeah. And that pumps me up. I love my friends and they bring me so much energy. And so being able to integrate that into my week in some shape or form has me look forward to things. And like, I know when I get with them, they just bring their own energy to the table, and that lights me up. So that's how I deal with it.
Yeah, that's good. And everyone has their own way of doing things. And so you've found what works for you. It works for me. Like, we know that this is like a short, sharp sprint. Like, we're going to run at this really hard for a couple of months, 6 months, and really make the changes that we need to make. We're the same. Like, I'm the same as you. It's like balance is measured over a longer period than a day. I think I would make a terrible marathon runner if I think of it more like a weekly routine. It's like I start Monday like a bull at a gate, and I feel like the marathon guns fired off, and it's just like 18-hour day.
Yeah, and it's true. We're floored by Saturday.
Yeah, so like right now. Run out of the gates, very bad at pacing myself. Gets to Thursday night, Friday morning, and we're filming this on a Friday morning, so you're catching me at the end of the marathon, and I kind of like fall over the finish line on Friday afternoon, and I say to Von, do not, whatever you do, plan anything with anyone Friday or Saturday. I'm just going to like turn into a vegetable. And so I just vegetable for 18 hours of waking hours, and then Sunday I start to become alive again, go grocery shopping, cook us lunch, and then get ready for the week. And so that's my week.
Yeah, it's our week this week. But next week it might be different, where we're at the beach every morning and we're walking Yuna, and this is just what we're at right now. So managing it, we just pivot to what helps us be able to be the most excellent at what's ahead of us, or like what's due, and then make it happen around that, and then just pace ourselves.
It's not glamorous.
No.
And we're not trying to make it glamorous or ask for sympathy or anything like that. It's just, this is the genuine reality of what's going on at the moment. Yeah. Basically getting up at like 8 o'clock.
Or earlier sometimes.
You're 7, 8.
Yeah, depends on what it is.
Coming to the office, having coffee, chatting, and then try and take the dog for a walk after 5:30, and then night shift. Do you remember that first client, the first prospective client you sent an invoice to, and it almost ended up with Vonnimedia never happening?
Oh, you mean the app at Fitness First, or whatever it is. Oh my gosh, yes.
If the universe went different, we would never be here because of that moment.
Yeah, it's true. I was at Fitness First in North Sydney for a hot minute, and I had just finished a workout, like a group workout, and was chatting with, I think it was the trainer, because I was brand new, and he had mentioned that he was launching an app, and I was like, no way. And then he asked like what I did, and I was like, I'm working part-time and I'm a freelance digital marketer. And he goes, I might need your help with something, like da-da-da-da. And he rattled off all the different things. It sounded like they needed everything pretty much. And so I was like, great, well, I can get together everything that you need. And then he mentioned he had a business partner that created the app, was a developer. And I was like, awesome, let's bring him along as well. I can show through everything there. And so I went away, got everything together. Honestly, it was so scrappy. I was like, okay, I'm going to do 4 blog posts. I'm going to design your website. I'm going to do all your meta ads. I'm going to do 4 emails a month. I'm going to do all your graphic design. I'm going to do all these different things for $80 a month. And I thought that was too much. I was literally going, there's no way they're going to say yes. I am greedy. Like, why would I charge that? And so I went to the meeting and presented everything, had everything there. And the web developer was literally like, we don't need you. This offer is not accepted. We don't want to work with you, pretty much. And so I went home and I was like, far out. Like, did I charge too much?
I remember you coming home and we're in our apartment in North Sydney and you were sitting on the floor. I was like, I came in from my job. I walked in and you were sitting on the floor and you were just, I think I'd never seen you as defeated as that moment. And you were sitting on the floor and you said to me, you're like, Sam, I don't think I can do this anymore. I think I'm just going to get a job in a bar and I'm going to go to Europe for 6 months. Yeah. I can't do this. I can't be a freelancer. There's no way people are going to engage me. And I was like, whoa, what happened today? And you told me that story. I was like, oh, this has nothing to do with you.
Yeah, I mean, $80 a month. Are you kidding me? That's also not our rates today, by the way. It's so sorry.
Do not ring and say, can we get all that for $80 a month?
I know. So funny. I think, look, what happened in that moment, at least I went for it. And I think the fact that I wasn't afraid to try, and even if I didn't have all the answers, I knew that I wanted to help them and give them all of the things that they needed to feel equipped. And so I think when you have an energy like that and your intention is so good, like you're just going to dust yourself off and get back up again. If the intention was for money and it didn't work, sure, then I would be like, okay, well, that's not a good way to earn money. I'll do something else. But that was not my intention. My intention was to be like, marketing is so helpful for people. I would do this for free any day, every day. I still do. I like talk with people all the time on calls and just help them with their business. No charges, because I just genuinely love it. And so that for me has always been the cornerstone of never giving up. It's so fun.
It is. They're never giving up, even though every 20 days, as you've mentioned, it's like...
Once.
Maybe we throw the towel in here. It's like, no, let's just wait a day. And so... If anyone told you they never thought about quitting, they're lying to you. There is moments where it's like, why are we doing this to ourselves?
But I am loving the journey. So yeah, no quitting here.
Yeah, the learning part is fun. I feel like we're constantly at school. I said to one of our team the other day, it feels like day one of university. Remember that feeling you walk into into the first class and the butterflies are there, or into a...
Butterflies?
The butterflies in your stomach.
Right.
Not in the sky. Sorry, got to use the rest of my words to explain what I mean. And you've just got that excitement and I guess the world is your oyster feeling, which dulls within week 2 and you're like, they ask you to do actual work. You're like, oh, this isn't as fun as the feeling of having the world at your feet. But I feel like that most days when we come in here, which is what keeps me coming back.
It's so dynamic. And I think I'm just obsessed with who we get to talk to every day. Like getting to talk to the clients that we do, the marketing managers, like the suppliers, like we're so lucky. Like there are some crazy, crazy talented people out there and I just love their brains.
Yeah. And I just love jamming with the team.
Yeah. Our team's the best.
They're so much smarter than I am. And so I get to learn so much from
good.
them and it's really fun. It's probably one of my favorite part of the jobs.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to wrap it up here. This has been the very first The Board Pod. I had a blast. Did you?
I've been wanting to do this for so long and I'm so happy that it's actually happening. It's a great opportunity for me to talk to you and I learned through this process.
We had to catch up.
Yeah, we get to catch up. But yeah, we haven't figured out exactly the format, but we will evolve this format as we go, but we'll make it hopefully useful for you guys as well.
Well, I think it comes back to what I said before, like just don't be afraid to try, right? Let's just put it out there, see if you guys like it. And of course, like we're on this journey and so we're just peeling back the curtain and being able to help give you everything that we know. Like we always want to share and give back. The more that, our knowledge is your knowledge and vice versa and we get to connect, like far out, what a life.
Yeah. Follow us on Instagram
The Board Pod.
The Board Pod. Yeah. Have you got the Instagram handle?
I do.
Good. Yep. The Board Pod on Instagram. If you're listening to this on any of the streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you're listening, please, for us, give us a like. We'd really appreciate it.
You got to leave a good review. You got to leave a 5-star review.
5 stars. 5-star service. 5-star pod.
Yeah. Love it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. We'll see you next time.